Who are you?
He likes your backpack.
Hi, my name is Jocelyn Sanchez. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am a graduate student at UCLA under the Master's Library and Information Science program, and I currently work for the Chicano Studies Research Center Library as an archivist.
And what are you doing here at the Queer Mercado?
Yeah, so today today our center, as well as the East L.A. cross-cultural centers, collaborated to put an exhibition together that's celebrating the 2-year anniversary of the Queer Mercado. And in the exhibition, we're showing both how it was founded and kind of like the joys that it has brought to the community, and also showing how initially it began as a labor of love, right? So a lot of our community members saw value in having a queer space in East L.A., and in turn they volunteered their time, their talents, in order to put it together. And like those first couple mercados were really like community run. They still are, but like specifically in the beginning, right? So we wanted to put something together that shows that history and that impact.
Okay. And then what does being queer and being here at a place like this, the Queer Mercado, 2 years, what does it mean to you?
So I am originally from South Central, but have been in East LA for a very long time now. So it's just very special to know that there's a space that was intentionally created for queer people like me, where I can bring my full self, right? Where I don't have to compromise, and I can go into a space knowing that like I will be accepted for my queerness, for my brownness, for everything in one, rather than like having to make the compromise that I feel like a lot of times we do have to make when we go into queer, or I should say gay spaces that are very white. Like a lot of times we're not asked to bring everything, right, of what it means to be like a queer, brown, or black person. So having this space here in my home is just it's really sweet, because I do feel that love, right? And to know that like a lot of the people that put this together are volunteering their time, it makes me know that my community values me, and I think there's something really special about that.
And what do you want to say to East LA?
I love you. I love East LA. My favorite thing about having lived here for so long is the sense of community, and the fact that like I'm able to come to the Queer Mercado and see like people of all ages, people come with their family, come with their friends. It just makes me feel like the love that I have for East LA is reciprocated, and I think that's really dope.
Who are you?
My name is Stephanie Varela. I'm 28 years old and I'm a mixed media artist. I guess I just center my life around art. I love learning. I love the idea of being well-rounded. So like one of those, ask me anything about art. I may not know it, but like maybe we can just talk about it. Like that's my thing, you know. Sharing knowledge, accumulating knowledge, and just trying to, you know, go with the flow.
What got you into art, and what's your favorite art form?
I've always been drawing, so like my parents will always tell the story of like how I held the yellow crayon, like not like the babies did, that like a pencil, like I held it properly, and so they just kind of always gave me art supplies, and I've always, I guess, just wanted to explore like my vision, and when I really got into it was when I started exploring vulnerability, and just because I always hated wearing my heart on my sleeve, so art was always that outlet for me. What was that second question?
The second question is, what does being queer mean to you?
I think being my true self. Being my true self is something that, what it means to me.
And exploring vulnerability in your art pieces, how would you say you do that?
So I believe that every flower is as unique as people are, and that cliche, like your eyes tell all, they say all. That's what I explore in my vision. So depending on the symbolism of the flowers, depending on culturally what you think of the flowers, even just your own personal like interpretations, the piece will say something different, and I just trying to like put myself out there, and that's what the work is. It's very gratifying to talk to people more versus like just doing what I think people like. So that's what a lot of the work has. Did I answer that correctly?
There's no correct or wrong answer. Okay. It's fine. And what would you like to say to East LA?
What would I like to say? What do you mean? Like,
just thank you. We love you.
Oh yeah, I guess, yeah, we love you. It's good to be here.
Tell me about yourself.
So I'm a Hi, my name is Angel. I'm a multidisciplinary artist. I do dioramas, digital artwork, and at the same time I convert and make new stuff out of old stuff, right?
Now tell me a little bit about your work. I've seen some of your paintings and some of your dioramas here. What do you have to say about the work that you make?
The work that I make with the dioramas is like, tell me where you're from without telling me where you're from. Basically just bringing some part of your surrounding back home in a way where it becomes nostalgic, or at one point it reminisces something that you kind of identify with.
I got a lot of that feeling when I was looking at your art. Did you grow up anywhere around East L.A. or South Central, Compton, Watts, anything like that?
I grew up in Mid-City. I grew up in Mid-City. I spent most of my time in South Central going to punk shows, ska shows. The other half I did by East L.A., by University Hill, right across the street from Cal State L.A. And then the remaining part I would say that I did spend was a little bit here in downtown and K-Town. So I wanted to, venture out and go different parts of LA without having to be told what I needed to know about each section of LA.
Punk and ska, are you familiar with tank crimes? I did see one of the little people in your art did have a Spaz shirt on.
Okay, well, I do identify with the punk scene, based on the fact that I did grow up with it, and at one point it was just a mixture of just noise and I'd say just being loud and outspoken when it comes down to authority, and how to be a little bit more resourceful when it comes down to the fight to authority. Like making flyers with like a copy machine, or making pamphlets with cardboard and pallets, pallet wood or so.
And then my final question, what does being queer mean to you?
Being queer is, to me, it represents just being different in a way where you don't necessarily have to identify to a certain stigma of a lifestyle, but just identifying yourself with everything that you find welcoming to yourself.
Alright, and then as my final question, what would you like to say to East LA?
I would like to say that thank you for opening up your doors to all these artists and in space, as well as a park, just bringing up a place where everybody can gather around and be together in I would say in a home-like environment with their art and with people that make art or help art or support art.
Who are you?
Hi, we are part of an organization called Free Mom Hugs. We go out and educate and advocate and act as stand-in parents in the queer community, and we fill in for whatever we can do.
Alright, now tell me more about this organization.
So it was an organization started by Sarah Cunningham, who is in Ohio, who had a faith crisis when her youngest son came out as gay. So she went on a search to kind of accept and love, and then started this organization with a button that said Free Mom Hugs at Oklahoma Pride.
Alright, and now starting from Oklahoma, ending up here in East LA, how does the journey reflect the journey with Queer America right now?
Oh, I think it kind of just goes with the flow, of how much we're needed, and I think Free Mom Hug chapters pop up exactly where they need. For instance, we are here in Southern California, and we actually have 4 chapters that are kind of county-led. So we personally are from the IE chapter out here in East LA, and just representing and loving.
How many hugs have you given out today?
Oh, today? Probably a couple hundred.
At least.
Yeah, probably a couple hundred.
Alright, and what does being queer mean to you?
Oh, what does being queer mean to me? Well, I think being part of the queer community is just, the biggest thing is being affirming and being loving, and then just making sure that everyone feels that they're loved. For me, myself, there's many queer members in my family and friends, and I have many queer friends, and it's just important to make sure that everyone feels loved and affirmed.
And what would you like to say to East LA?
East LA, we're here. Come and see us at Queer Mercado so we can love on you every third Saturday of the month.
Who are you?
My name's Sebastian. Yeah, I've been making pottery, working with plants all my life, and combining my two passions for the last like 5 years. Yeah, the plants are the inspiration, so I try to make a pot to match the plant. Yeah, I just like working with the earth and sharing it.
Tell me about yourself and your business here.
Yeah, I'm born and raised here in East L.A., so it's nice to be vending right here at home. It's fun to work with clay. There's a lot of different stuff you can do with it, a lot of different styles you can explore, and I like making functional things, mainly plant pots, some ashtrays, pipes, incense holders, stuff like that. Yeah.
Now, what got you into pottery, and more especially, or more specifically, getting into pottery that you can smoke out of?
Yeah. So getting into pottery, I think at a certain point in my plant journey, I started buying pots and they were expensive, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just make my own. And yeah, I bought a bag of clay from the art store and just started air dried clay, and just started making my own pots. And I'm born on 420, so I naturally feel like smoke, and I feel like I was born to make weed art, so I started combining my pottery and yeah, trying to find new ways to smoke. So you can put a joint one side, inhale through the other side, so you can smoke pot out of your pot. I made some pots and sold them at a fundraiser one time, and a few of them sold, and I was like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna try it again. And yeah, it's more sold, and I just kept it going from there. And during the pandemic, I built my own kiln, so I got a bunch of bricks, some rebar, a barbecue grill, and it functioned as a kiln. Got to 2,000 degrees and started learning at my own pace and making all these pots. And yeah, it's what I feel most fulfilled doing. It's what I feel most proud of, so I just want to keep on doing as much of it as I can. Like, yeah.
And what does being queer mean to you?
Being queer to me means living truly to yourself, not being, I don't know, not being afraid of what other people might say about being queer, especially just, I feel like in our generation and the past few like generations, there's been a different sort of attitude and more acceptance towards being queer. Yeah, I feel like it's just being your authentic self, not being afraid of that.
And then what do you want to say to East LA?
Keep it through, chat. Shit.
Fuck yeah.